Welcome back, Warner fam. Today, I'll recap an action-packed and thrilling sci-fi film, Venom: The Last Dance. So keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts on the mysterious planet Clintar, a dark and eerie home to the symbiotes. Their creator, Null, a being of pure chaos, has been locked away due to his cruel and terrifying ways. Null is desperate to escape his prison, and he knows there's only one way to do it. He needs the Codex. This powerful artifact would give him the strength to break free and spread destruction across the universe. Not willing to wait, Null unleashes his terrifying minions, the xenophages, to hunt down the one symbiote who holds the Codex. The stakes couldn't be higher as the universe's fate hangs in the balance. Eddie, Brock, and Venom find themselves drunk and laying low in Mexico, trying to forget their troubles in Earth 616. But trouble never stays away for long. Suddenly, the same glowing portals that Null opened to unleash the xenophages appear, pulling Eddie and Venom back to their own chaotic universe. They land right back in front of the bewildered bartender, who looks like he's seen it all. As Venom shamelessly tries to make himself a drink, Eddie's attention snaps to the TV. Breaking news flashes across the screen. Eddie Brock is now a wanted fugitive. He's being blamed for the supposed death of Patrick Mulligan, and the authorities are hunting him down. Knowing San Francisco is no longer an option, Eddie makes a bold decision. He's heading back to New York City. Even though he's banned from the city, Eddie insists he's got enough dirt on the judge to get the charges against him cleared. With Venom hyping him up, the duo prepares for their next wild adventure, even if the odds are stacked against them. As Eddie and Venom are leaving town, they hear screams and chaos nearby. Following the noise, they stumble upon a hidden warehouse where something terrible is happening. Dogs are being kept in cages, forced to fight for cruel entertainment. Eddie can feel Venom growing angrier by the second. Before they can act, 4 thugs running the operation step forward, armed and ready to silence Eddie for good. But Eddie doesn't even flinch. He gives Venom the green light, and chaos erupts as Venom tears through the room, tossing the thugs around like ragdolls. The dogs, sensing freedom is near, join in to take their revenge on the cruel men. In the end, Venom finishes the job in his signature style, grabbing the thugs with his tentacles and chomping off their heads one by one. With the fight over, Eddie and Venom set all the dogs free, watching as the grateful animals run off into the night. As the pair head toward New York, they're unaware of a sinister shadow following them, a xenophage lurking, ready to strike. The danger is far from over. General Rex Strickland, a no-nonsense leader with a sharp mind, gets called in by his shadowy boss to take on a strange new mission. The target? Eddie Brock and his unpredictable partner, Venom. This isn't just any case. There's something big and dangerous about these two. Strickland starts by heading to the bar where Eddie and Venom were last seen. His team finds a small but crucial sample of Venom left behind, a clue that could unlock the mystery. The general wastes no time questioning the bartender, drilling him about every detail of what he saw. When the bartender hesitates, Strickland's eyes narrow. He gives the order with chilling calm: bring him in. His men move quickly, knowing better than to argue. Strickland is determined to uncover the truth no matter the cost. The hunt for Eddie and Venom has officially begun, and Strickland isn't planning to stop until he gets what he's after. In the middle of the Nevada desert, we meet Dr. Teddy Payne, a brilliant but haunted scientist. She wakes up from a terrible nightmare, one she's had many times before. In her dream, she's a child again, running through a thunderstorm with her twin brother. Lightning strikes her, but instead of hurting Teddy, the electricity passes through her hand and into her brother, taking his life. Snapping back to reality, Teddy's phone rings. She's being summoned to Area 51, a top-secret facility that's about to be shut down in just 3 days. When she arrives, she's greeted by her colleague Sadie, nicknamed Christmas, who's as sharp as she is resourceful. They're soon joined by the no-nonsense General Rex Strickland, and it's clear something big is happening. Teddy's lab has been studying the other symbiotes that arrived on Earth at the same time as Venom. These creatures are unpredictable, and their power is unmatched. The trio heads to a containment cell where Patrick Mulligan is being held. Mulligan isn't alone. He's the host for Toxin, one of the most dangerous symbiotes ever recovered. Speaking through Mulligan, Toxin delivers a chilling warning. Null is coming, and his threat is far greater than they could have imagined. The room grows quiet as the weight of Toxin's words sinks in. Time is running out, and the battle for Earth is only just beginning. Venom convinces Eddie to do something crazy, hang on to the side of a plane as they hitch a ride to New York. The journey seems to be going smoothly until they're ambushed by a xenophage, one of Null's deadly hunters. A wild battle erupts midair, with Venom and Eddie barely managing to shove the creature into one of the plane's turbines. But their victory is short-lived. The xenophage regenerates on the ground, ready for more. Before Eddie can even catch his breath, Venom makes him jump off the plane with a parachute. They land hard in the middle of nowhere, with Eddie frustrated and covered in dirt. That's when Venom finally opens up about the truth. Null isn't just hunting them randomly, he's after the Codex, A powerful bond formed when a symbiote and its host's life forces combine. Venom reveals that this happened when he saved Eddie's life after Riot impaled him. Now, the xenophages can sense the Codex if Venom fully emerges, so he stays hidden within Eddie to avoid detection. As they regroup, Eddie spots a lone horse grazing nearby. Without hesitation, Venom takes over the animal, transforming it into a speedy, monstrous steed. With their unusual ride, Eddie and Venom charge forward, knowing their mission is only going to get tougher. Strickland orders his mercenaries to hunt down Eddie and Venom, and it doesn't take long for the two to get cornered near a rushing river. With no other option, they dive in, the icy water pulling them into chaos. Separated from Venom in the struggle, Eddie finds himself face to face with two armed mercenaries. He fights hard, using every ounce of strength he has, but when one of them won't back down, Eddie is forced to defend himself with a gun. The moment the mercenary falls, guilt washes over Eddie. He didn't want to take a life, but survival left him no choice. Before Eddie can process what just happened, Venom catches up and pulls him to safety, just in time to avoid being swept over a towering waterfall. But the danger isn't over. The mercenaries are closing in, ready to finish the job. Out of nowhere, the xenophage appears, tearing through the mercenaries like a living nightmare. It's a horrifying sight. Its jaws rip and shred with no mercy, leaving nothing but chaos behind. While the xenophage is distracted, Eddie and Venom seize their chance. They slip away quietly, hearts pounding, knowing they've narrowly escaped a deadly trap. But the shadow of danger looms larger than ever. Toxin reveals his true form to Teddy and Sadie, his towering, menacing figure filling the containment cell. His voice is deep and chilling as he delivers a grim warning. Venom carries the Codex. As long as he survives, the entire world is at risk. The weight of his words sinks in, leaving Teddy and Sadie stunned. They realize that stopping Venom might be the only way to protect everyone. Meanwhile, General Strickland is furious. The loss of his soldiers fuels his rage, and he slams his fist on the table in frustration. He refuses to let Eddie and Venom slip away again. Determined to end this personally, Strickland declares, "If no one else can get the job done, I'll handle it myself." With his sights set on Eddie and Venom, Strickland gears up for a relentless pursuit. The stakes are higher than ever, and time is running out. Eddie stumbles across a quirky hippie family called the Moons. They're a lively bunch. Martin, the laid-back dad, Nova, the free-spirited mom, and their two kids, Echo and Leaf. The family shares their food with Eddie, and after hearing his story, they offer him a ride as far as Vegas. It's perfect timing since they're heading that way to check out Area 51 before it closes for good. As they hit the road, the van fills with laughter and music. The family belts out Space Oddity, their voices mixing with the hum of the engine. For a moment, Eddie finds himself smiling, feeling a little less alone. As the sun dips below the horizon, Venom starts chatting with Eddie. He wonders aloud if Eddie could have been a good family man. When Leaf nervously asks about aliens, Venom, using Eddie's voice, reassures him, "Don't worry, kid. No scary aliens are coming for you." The simple exchange brings a warmth Eddie hasn't felt in a while, as Venom seems to bond with Leaf in an unexpected way. For now, Eddie feels a rare sense of peace, even if danger is just around the corner. The Moon family drops Eddie and Venom off in the glitzy streets of Vegas before saying their goodbyes. Eddie, tired but hopeful, tries to enter a fancy casino, only to get turned away by a bouncer who sneers at his casual clothes. Frustrated, Venom takes matters into his own hands. Before Eddie can stop him, Venom headbutts the bouncer, knocking him out cold. They quickly spot a drunken tourist stumbling nearby, and Venom knocks him out too, grabbing the man's suit for Eddie. "Now you look the part," Venom quips. Inside the casino, Eddie is stunned to run into Mrs. Chen, a familiar face from his old life. She immediately ushers them into her room, offering a place to freshen up. After Eddie cleans up, Mrs. Chen playfully insists that Venom come out to dance with her. Venom reluctantly agrees, his hulking form swaying awkwardly to the music. For a brief moment, they all laugh and let their guard down, but their fun doesn't last. The dancing makes it easy for the xenophage to lock onto their location. Venom senses the danger and quickly retreats into Eddie. The xenophage snarls in frustration and retreats, but not before alerting someone else to their whereabouts. Strickland and his team storm in moments later. They ambush Eddie, separating him from Venom and taking them both captive. The once glittering Vegas backdrop now feels like a trap, and Eddie realizes they've walked straight into the enemy's hands. The Moons finally reach Area 51, just as Eddie wakes up inside a cold, dark cell. Strickland pulls Eddie out, his face filled with anger. He plans to execute Eddie himself, thinking that killing him will destroy the Codex. Eddie knows this means either he or Venom has to die. But just as Strickland is about to strike, Venom surprises everyone. He had secretly latched onto Sadie, and with a burst of power, he jumps back to Eddie to save him. Before they can escape, the xenophage shows up. It's huge, hungry, and ready for a fight. But just as things look hopeless, Toxin, who's still inside Mulligan, steps in. Toxin holds the xenophage back long enough for Venom to make a break for it, but in a cruel twist, the xenophage catches Toxin and eats him, shredding his body into pieces. Meanwhile, Teddy and Sadie are working fast to free the other symbiotes locked away in the facility. As they release the symbiotes, they latch on to unsuspecting scientists, taking control of their bodies and unleashing their true forms. The battle between the symbiotes and the xenophage is fierce. The symbiotes fight hard, but the xenophage just keeps coming back, regenerating no matter how many times it's attacked. It even kills some of the other symbiotes, leaving Eddie, Venom, and their new allies with no choice but to keep fighting against an enemy that won't stay down. The xenophage breaks free from the facility, and the moons witness the chaos. Eddie knows he has to act fast. He races after them, determined to get them to safety. But just as he reaches them, the xenophage summons other dangerous creatures to join the fight and back her up. Sadie, now fully bonded with the symbiote Lasher, leads the charge, commanding the other symbiotes to fight back. Eddie quickly rescues the moons from a crumbling tower, pulling them to safety before they fall. Meanwhile, Venom has a plan. He lures the xenophages away from Lasher by leading them into a trap, a kill zone that he and Strickland have set up. Strickland, who had once been their enemy, switches sides after seeing one of his own men accidentally killed in the battle. Together, they blow up two of the xenophages while Venom speeds off on a motorcycle, decapitating another with a swift move. But just when they think they've got the upper hand, more and more xenophages appear, outnumbering them quickly. In the midst of the chaos, one of the xenophages kills Lasher after she separates from Sadie. Eddie and Venom know what they must do now. They realize that the only way to end this fight is to face it together, once and for all. They steel themselves for the final battle, ready to risk everything to stop the xenophages and save the world. Eddie and Venom step out into the open, trying to draw the xenophages toward them. Venom quickly wraps all the xenophages up with his powerful tendrils and pushes Eddie away to safety. He knows this is the only way to stop them. Strickland, ready to finish the job, activates a container filled with acid, which showers both Venom and the xenophages. Venom looks at Eddie and says, "Bye for now," before covering him with his body to protect him from the acid. Just then, Strickland detonates a grenade as the acid starts to burn him too. The explosion is massive, and the entire facility goes up in flames, destroying the xenophages for good. With the Codex gone, Null's power fades, and he is forced back into his prison. Teddy, using her symbiote Agony, races to safety with Sadie. Thanks to her super speed, they manage to escape just before the explosion catches up to them. The battle is over, but the cost has been high. Eddie wakes up in a hospital, feeling confused. A federal official is standing next to his bed. The official tells Eddie that because of everything he did, his criminal record has been wiped clean. Eddie can go back to living a normal life now. But there's one catch. He must never tell anyone about the strange and dangerous things he experienced. Eddie finally makes it to New York City, ready to see the Statue of Liberty, just like Venom had always wanted. He sits down to enjoy the view, feeling peaceful for the first time in a while. As he looks out at the city, Eddie takes a moment to remember his best friend and everything they went through together. Mid-credits scene, Null, filled with anger, vows to get revenge. He promises to destroy the entire universe now that Venom is gone. The darkness around him grows, hinting that his plans are far from over. Post-credits scene. The bartender slowly escapes from the ruins of Area 51, looking around cautiously. Not far from him, a cockroach crawls across the ground. As it moves, it suddenly gets covered by a piece of Venom's symbiote, hinting that something dangerous might be coming back. So, which awesome movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps.